All right, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Greene here. It is August 30th, 2022. In an emergency move, the Pope is now giving a deadline to move all assets from the Catholic Church to the Vatican Bank outside of the current banking system, so the Vatican takes possession of billions and billions of dollars of assets. Some are estimating up to $5 billion plus dollars. Maybe a lot more. And the question is why? Why is the timing now? He's given a deadline by the end of September, beginning on October 1st, all funds, and these instructions have been laid out, but all Vatican entities to move all cash deposits and investments from the current banking system to where they are taking physical possession. And I'm going to explain why this is happening in a moment. Pope Francis has ordered that the Holy See and connected entities move all financial assets to the Institute for Works of Religion, otherwise known as the IOR, commonly known as the Vatican Bank. The Pope's rescript, issued August 23rd, very recently, clarifies the interpretation of a paragraph in the new constitution of the Roman Curia. And it says that was promulgated in March. According to Francis's rescript, financial and liquid assets held in banks other than the IOR at the Vatican must be removed from the traditional banking system. This includes Italian banks, I think Swiss banks, if I remember correctly, and the Vatican Bank itself will be taking possession of all said assets. Now look, you're never going to get the official story in the mainstream media. Why is this happening now? Why would the Pope want to take all financial assets and take monetary sovereignty and physical possession of billions and billions of dollars by the end of September? Now, for those of you that didn't watch my video earlier today, I put out a really good clip on how they're going to transfer us, in my opinion, to CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Trust that friggin' plan, how they're going to organize it, how there's going to be a scapegoat, how many believe that there's going to be capital controls, bank runs in the United States, financial economic lockdowns coming very, very soon. And then, of course, the inevitable reset that they've already predictively programmed and scheduled as they introduce the new digital version and programmatic fiat, of which there will be a transfer payment model, say 10 to 1, 100 to 1, whatever it might be, 15 to 1, from the US fiat dollar equivalents to the new CBDC standard. Now, of course, the cloak and smokescreen of this will, in my opinion, be a world war. We are seeing increased tensions again in Ukraine. In fact, Vladimir Putin meeting with generals today. We've seen heavy actions in Taiwan via China in recent weeks, post Nancy Pelosi's very planned and intentional visit to Taiwan. In fact, there was a drone that was shot at earlier today. I reported on it about 24 hours ago that China was running in and around the border of Taiwanese airspace. So all of this is leading into the big event. Now, the reason we can only surmise why Pope Francis would move billions of dollars of assets and out of the banking system. This is the same thing I'm telling you guys to do. Get out of the banking system. If you don't believe me, believe the Pope. They're taking all of their money. This is one of the most powerful institutional churches in the world. They're taking all their wealth and mandating that it must be outside of the traditional banking system. Why? What kind of failure are they expecting? What kind of bank runs are they expecting? What kind of systemic collapse are they expecting? Now, shrouded in a lot of mystery, they're saying that the reason for this is there's been a lot of scandals in recent memory with ill financial advice or advisory situations that didn't benefit the church. But I think it's much more deep than that. It's certainly going down the rabbit hole a lot more farther than that, because this is a dramatic move. It's not like a casual shift to monetary sovereignty. It's an abrupt deadline by the end of September. Now, the only reason you'd want to do this is to take possession, which I'm encouraging you guys to do, with gold, with silver, with Bitcoin, with crypto, with Island Project. By the way, it's the last chance to get in this month at islandprojectclub.com. So make sure you get in. I'll put a link in the description below. That'll give you early bird access, because here's what I think is going to happen. Because of this disruption, what the Pope knows is coming, with the Vatican knows is coming because they are the insiders and largely have the information that the general public doesn't know about. There is about to be a large sovereign debt collapse, I believe, and this is the information I believe that they possess in the westernized banking system. Remember when the Pigs nations collapsed, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, Spain. Remember 2008-09, and now 2022, approaching 2023. Now, in a systemic event of potential bank bail-ins, like we've already seen in Cyprus, if this in fact hits the United States and other westernized nation states, the only way to protect your core assets is by having possession of them. Again, if it's in a bank, it's not only fractional, but there is the risk of depositors asking for their funds. There's the risk of bail-ins. There's the risk of digital bank runs like we had in 2008-09 and also physical bank runs. So again, all of this is culminating, ladies and gentlemen, to the biggest event in world history, the biggest financial economic hardship and transition to the new system of economic global sovereignty, led by China and their CBDC digital equivalent, and then the release and launch of the Eurozone equivalent in the European Union, and also the Western world, the United States of America, which is actually grossly behind the curve in regards to this technological advancement. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be a massive dislocation in the marketplace. I believe that core assets will decouple and begin moving parabolically at these and when these events transpire. This is what I believe the Pope knows. Okay, the Pope is always going to make money. The Vatican's always going to make money. Goldman Sachs is always going to make money. Hedge funds are always going to make money. The banking elite, Wall Street, is always going to make money. Don't bet against them. The Federal Reserve, don't fight the Fed. You hear that saying. There is going to be a massive dislocation, and I believe assets are going to uncorrelate and break free from the broken, failed old system. Now, who are going to be the beneficiaries of this? Gold, silver, Bitcoin, blockchain, island project, real estate, land, all real assets not attached to the old model that are physical and provide sovereignty and real wealth over the said asset. This is why I believe that the Pope is getting out and instituting an extremely dramatic deadline over the last few days, and you can look this up for yourself. The Pope, and there's many articles on this, why Pope Francis' Vatican Bank order is a big deal. Pope Francis instructs Vatican entities to move all funds to the Vatican Bank, liquidating accounts from traditional financial institutions. This is very sudden. This is very abrupt. And they probably have to publicize it because people would catch wind of this if they started just selling financial assets to say like JP Morgan Chase or Citibank or these kinds of institutions. They've got to give a reason, just like many suspect that Elon Musk and his idea of acquiring the public acquisition of Twitter was really just a ruse so he could sell all of his stock in Tesla and other companies so he could liquidate at the top with an excuse that he was going to buy something that he's not even going to buy. You see how that worked out in his favor? He was able to sell at the top, not panic Tesla stock and shareholders, then take that newfound wealth, which he sold at the top, pretend he was going to buy, these are the allegations, Twitter. Okay, this is my thoughts on this, my opinion. Pretend he's going to buy, but then backtrack and not really buy it. And then pocket the cash upon that, this is my opinion again, falsehood and or deceptive nature of what he said he intended to do. Which, by the way, he's backtracking out of the deal, if you haven't noticed. He's citing that rogue Twitter executive for the reason why he's getting out now and backtracking, in addition to the bots that have not been disclosed to him, he believes, privately enough, with enough information for him to acquire at the current sticker price, which he had proposed. So that's kind of like this ongoing thing that's currently happening. But the point is, we've seen this in recent years too with all the major CEOs either leaving and stepping down from their Fortune 100 companies or selling their repurchased, bought back shares that they just borrowed at 0% to pump their share price and then sold at the top and then leave to go do something else. Now, it is also important to note, although I don't follow Vatican politics necessarily like some of you probably do, But Pope Francis is in his last days. So he will be replaced soon. Many believe that he will be replaced by an African pope. And if that were to happen, from my understanding of eschatology and more, this would be a signal of the introduction of the and reveal, which I believe is going to happen, of the Antichrist in a very biblical acknowledgement, almost like the trumpets finally sounding or pre-sounding loudly to the coming events that we know are going to transpire. By the way, China has just put 1 million plus more people in the same position that they were over the last couple of years. You know what I'm talking about. That article just broke as well. 1 million plus more people in China are now heavily restricted on their movements and other things. I'll just say that. That was another update that just came. Now, Biden, using very coarse language, harsh language towards conservatives, says that you're going to need more than the Second Amendment. If you don't like the way things are in America right now, you're going to need an F-15, he said, alluding to the American fighter jets. So we're seeing this atmosphere of political division where there is no agreement, only disagreement, complete and utter polarization down party lines, simmering like a boiling pot of water. Financial, and this is the biggest story in the world. It's the currency reset no one's talking about. I explained earlier how this is all going to go down, how they're going to transfer us to the new system. They're going to cloak it through a scapegoat of war. World War III is here, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you need to do what the Pope is doing. Get out of the banks. Get out of these financial institutions that are then going to propose what many billionaires have been telling us for years, like Ray Dalio. Capital controls, asset freezes, economic financial lockdowns, and potential bail-ins in the United States, which means if you understand what happened to Cyprus, they just take your money out of the bank and they get rid of it. Now, we're also seeing a cascading sovereign debt collapse in the United States, over $500 billion. Some suggest and estimate over $1 trillion of student loan debt has now completely been eviscerated and is now being paid for by U.S. taxpayers in the form of a cloaked bank bailout. You see, the banks that issued the student loan debt know they'll never get paid back, so they got to expunge it off their books with a bailout from sugar daddy Joe Biden. In 2008-09, they just called it a bailout. Now they're saying it's debt forgiveness, but it's not forgiveness. This will transfer to all areas of the credit and debt markets, in my humble opinion. Mortgages, sovereign debt, bank debt, business debt, consumer credit card debt, auto loans. The list goes on and on. This will be the worst financial economic crisis that we had ever seen. And they're going to need that to reset to CBDCs. There's no other way around it. They're going to need something extremely dramatic and forceful to push forward what the agenda has always been. So there is going to be a massive decoupling very soon. I believe in the capital markets. Crypto blockchain are going to benefit, ladies and gentlemen. Island Project is going to benefit from this. You need to take monetary sovereignty today over your own funds, over your own life. Also, it's your last chance. I'll put links in the boxes up here and down below in a minute. Also, shout out a couple names again to Island Project Club to get your early bird access. You will be alerted to the eventual public roadmap launch and see everything we're doing from the inside. This is an amazing way to participate in Island Project if you can't get into the private placement. You should do both, but this is another way to get in, get a direct line to me. If you have any questions about how getting out of the bank, how to get out of the banking system, how to construct a portfolio, what assets I think are going to do the best, questions about Island Project and more, 1000x pick reveals, and everything that I see is a domino effect that honestly is going to be extremely disruptive, but profitable as well. Because again, an economic collapse, that's where the real money will be made. Think 1929. The wealthiest families in the world, ladies and gentlemen, made all their money buying all those farms and buying all those cheap assets and buying the BLOD on the streets, so to speak, during the 1929 collapse. When everyone else was over-margined and leveraged, which I also advise, don't use margin, just get out of debt. This is why Island Project has zero debt, because I'm expecting a full-blown asset freeze. And so you want to get outside of the banks, just like the Pope is taking his actual monetary value outside and putting it under the helm of the Vatican Bank, which is their proprietary financial institution. You should do the exact same things. Links below. Get it, Island Project Club. Again, it's going to go away because it's the last day, end of the month. to get into this, there's a little pre-order button. This will determine your access to me, 15, 30-minute phone call to the next 5. I only have 5 spots left tonight to get in. And you can ask me anything. You set your amount, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is. That'll determine how much time you get with me and access and any questions on how to approach this. I mean, literally, this is kind of exciting in a way because I've been readying for this for over 15, 16 years. I've been preparing for the greatest economic, financial transitionary collapse that the world has ever seen. This is why I originally bought Bitcoin so early, because I could see that the banking system was no longer needed, that the institutions would fail. Also, there's been some positive news over the last 48 hours on legislative moves coming to the blockchain market, which are only going to help it decouple and pump it even further. Of course, we've got the Ethereum merger, and we've had some positive news on that over in the last 24 hours as well, and a very viral pic, if you've seen it, from Vitalik Buterin. By the way, Vitalik comes out here to Maui all the time. Yeah, he's out here quite a bit. I mean, we have some of the brightest, most successful technologists in the world out here on the Hawaiian Islands. So it is game over, ladies and gentlemen. It is game over for the new system. You got to get ready. Let me read names out. We just had Devin from Little Rock, Little Rock, Arkansas, just joined the Island Project Club Access, just took advantage of that massive opportunity while I'm here live. Thank you so much. That's amazing. I look forward to speaking with you, working with you one-on-one, and getting an opportunity to actually help you prepare, profit leverage yourself from what is coming ahead. You know, I can't get to everyone. People always say, Christopher, why are the seats limited? Why can't you let everyone in? Why are you charging for your time? Well, I can't talk to everybody at once. I mean, that would be ridiculous. There's no way that I could do that. I already only sleep 5 hours a day as it is, guys, with everything I got going on. I have a gentleman from Bullhead City, Arizona just subscribed. We have Flint, Michigan. Remember the water crisis? Remember when that happened? And all the water turned poisonous in the United States of America. That's why I've always been selling water filtration systems and all these things for years. Food storage, all the things that I've ever sold or ever promoted or ever told you to onboard have all been the greatest value centers in everything that you should be doing. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I don't run any ads on any of my videos. Of course, I sell my own products that are good for you guys, which you need, which help you to profit, but I don't run any ads from these large Fortune 100 companies. You see other people do that. We don't do that here. So I don't think it helps you to go buy a new pair of tennis shoes, frankly. What benefits you is buying gold, silver, blockchain, Bitcoin, island project, building communities, creating cash flows, 1000xing your mindset, increasing your education, your value centers so that you can succeed, changing your mindset. And I had 2 more just come on here. One of you from Scottsdale, Arizona, back home where I'm at. God bless you, islandprojectclub.com. So it's the last chance to get into that. There's a $1,500 minimum. This is big, big news. Ladies and gentlemen, links up here and down here. Pope Francis instructing the Vatican to move all funds to the Vatican Bank, raising alarm bells across financial markets in a mass liquidation of billions of dollars that are being now removed. These financial liquid assets and investments are being removed from the traditional banking system and put on deposit where the Vatican now has sovereign control. See, this is what you guys want to do. I'm sure that the Pope and the Vatican Bank also owns blockchain and Bitcoin, and I'm sure they already have an allocation to the new CBDCs that are coming. See, you got to look at these first movers and what they're doing. Just like I've been studying people like Ray Dalio for years and other billionaires and watching how they allocate and studying the movement of their own funds, because the actions speak louder than words. And all this is going to go down soon, guys. I really believe we probably only have 6-12 months before the invasion of Taiwan, before all heck breaks loose, because they want maximum distractions during the reset. They need a massive scapegoat. And the perfect scapegoat is war and political division on the ground in the United States. So notice we're seeing a lot of people even turn on Trump right now. A lot of people are backtracking now. They're not on Team Trump. We're seeing this. I don't care. I'm not on one side of the aisle or not. I'm a libertarian. I believe in freedom and liberty. But I'm seeing a lot of people flee from him now as well. So we're really in the most political, chaotic, divisive, crazy, nutso, schizo environment that we've ever seen in world history. And this will culminate in the largest gravitational pull and, so to speak, of currency resetting into a new financial system economic order. Probably why China just put in all these new restrictions with 1 million plus people, because again, you got to put in controls before they change things over. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Christopher Greene. God bless all of you tuning in. Jesus Christ is King. I love you guys very much. Get in at the Island Project today, islandprojectclub.com. 5 spots left. Well, actually, just a few more spots left because I had a bunch of those people just subscribe. Make sure you get in. Okay, it's your last opportunity to get in, end of month, end of today, by midnight. Execute on that. Pre-order big. Get in. Bet on yourself. What else are you going to do? Wake up one day and have the mainstream boob tube tell you there's capital controls and we're suddenly in a new war and there's a bail-in at the financial institutions? I mean, I'm sure the Vatican's glad it's getting out, which is why they're liquidating out of the modern financial system. And they'll probably put those funds on deposit until the new system changes over and then work those funds into the new model, which they've already built the allocation for this, guys, okay? This is not going to be a surprise. Again, a lot of this technology was introduced and open sourced, Bitcoin and others, for a reason. There's a private and public sector market of this. They marry it with regulation and then they set the tone for the new system. This is why Starbucks is going cashless. Fortune 100 companies won't allow you to even, use cash anymore. A lot of the places around here in Maui, you're not allowed to use cash. I'll pull cash out and they'll say, no, we don't take it anymore. It's cashless. Everything's going digital, highly programmatic, and surveilled. And this is going to be the new system, whether you like it or not. So you got to get on the private side, on the side of liberty and freedom over here with Island Project. This is the solution, guys. Get into the private placement if you can, if you're already part of our group. Get into Island Project Club, learn about what we're doing, and help yourself get ahead. Don't hesitate. Don't sit on the sidelines, because there's also going to be tremendous opportunity in this cataclysmic decoupling of the new asset classes that are going to lead the charge forward. Anyways, guys, I'm Christopher Greene. God bless. Jesus Christ is King. Share this video worldwide. This is the truth. These are my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a dude on the internet that got super Bitcoin rich and that has produced over 5,000, I think, videos over 15, 16 years. And basically everything I've ever talked about has come to pass over a period of time. Yes, I do get some things wrong, but overall, geopolitically, in the general direction of the system, the economies, geopolitical markets, mass psychology, politics, I've gotten a lot of this right. Enough so that I feel super blessed just to have that discernment. And I think I have it for a reason, to share with you guys so you go out there and prosper with information you otherwise wouldn't know about. So, to God be the glory for that. Don't give myself too much credit. But I love you guys so much. Execute. Pre-order buttons below. That's pre-order up here and down here. You can only find links in my description. I will never contact you on Telegram, WhatsApp. I will never send you or ask you to send me an email to a domain that's not ours. So we don't use Gmail accounts or Yahoo accounts, by the way, guys. You can only find us at the Island Project, or you can only find us at AMTV Media. That's it. Anyways, I love you. God bless. I want to hear your thoughts. I'll read your comments and respond to them as much as I can. And then I've got a lot of you actually to call over the next couple of days. So on board now to Island Project.